Everyone, and welcome to the class this evening. Today we're going to be speaking or sharing on Bullseye, the Archer's Way. Um, so I think what comes to my mind when I see this picture, the target, the board is, an archer, shooting an arrow and trying to meet the target. That's the middle of the board. It's a game that I think I've seen in a couple of places, and some of us have even tried it out before. Um, so the archer's way. So, like we said, the archer is a person who is skilled with the act of using a bow to achieve a target, to shoot something. So today's class is on goal setting, and it is very important for us to know that we cannot just, live our lives without setting goals. We can't live every day without an objective. Every time we step out, every time we wake up in the morning, we tell ourselves, today I want to do this. Those are like mini goals that we set for each and every day so that you know that, oh, I've achieved and made good use of today, making our days count, right? So today we're going to be looking at the full scope of goal setting. We'll be guided by this outline. What is a goal? Some of the questions to ask if you want to embark on a goal. Just check our thoughts here and there, tips on goal setting. Why should you set goals? The importance. A football analogy. If we can take the case study and then see the template eventually and some salient points to note, we will do that within the time frame that we have. Okay, so these are the opening thoughts. When I saw this image, I thought it was striking and it was something that I should, sort of touch on. So I never knew that each of the realms for a target board had these names. But the truth is, sometimes if you don't hit the V spots, you're like, oh, I've not really gotten there. But we need to celebrate every effort. Sometimes our attempt at a goal might not be the exact V spots. We might not get the results that we really want. But the truth is we have made effort. So we might find ourselves either at the heat or the outer, the magpie, the inner, or the bull segment. But eventually we see that we are making progress. So what goal setting will do is to help you to keep you on track and eventually ensure that you're making progress. Okay, so and it also shows that there is always a way. There is always a way. So what are the keywords in goal setting? So when I hear goal setting, when I think about goal setting, one of the things that always comes to my mind is it has to be strategic. There has to be a reason. There has to be a why you are saying, I want to achieve this. And, in knowing why you want to do something, it helps you to be deliberate. And, the word afterwards, intentionality is also the same thing as deliberate. It's just saying that you are purposeful, you know why you're doing it, and then you also have to be consistent because, like we saw in the previous picture, when you're learning to achieve goals, sometimes you might not get it at one attempt, but you have to keep going. You have to keep repeating. Just how they say, practice makes perfection. So intentionality is very, very key. And in other words, we're going to just summarize the goal setting using this definition that I got from Google. Goal setting is the process of establishing clear and measurable objectives to achieve a desired outcome. It involves defining what you want to achieve, creating a plan to reach your goals, and taking action to make it happen. So next is certain facts about goals, how they say goal setting is a life planning mechanism. The truth is, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. If you don't tell yourself, I'm going to make sure I achieve this within a day, the day would go. And at the end of the day, you just ask yourself, so what did I do today? And you see that you have done nothing. And if you really want to live a purposeful life, a life that is worth, celebrating, either ways, whether at a large scale or in your family or within your circle, you're supposed to happen to life and not let happen to you. And where goals are not set, goals cannot be gotten, things cannot be achieved. Some things don't just happen by accident. For example, you don't become a millionaire by accident. No, it takes intentionality, it takes certain steps that involve savings, investment, budgeting, several things. Same thing for each and every one of us here who have been students. You know that you don't just become or have first position. You work towards it. You make sure your CA test, your notes, your classwork, all of the exercises are great. And it has now I think it has even gone beyond just the schoolwork. You also look at your attitude, your interactions with people in grading you. So these are very, very essential facts that we need to know. Don't let life happen to you. You need to happen to life. And one of the ways you can happen to life is by setting goals. Goal setting is a life planning mechanism. So you cannot say, oh, I'll just live my life the way it is. No, there's no such thing as that. You have to be, like you saw in the definition, strategic, deliberate, intentional, and consistent about the things that you want to achieve. So I saw these pictures online and I thought it was very important for us to share them. So goals, when I saw this acronym, it really made a lot of sense to me. So it says goals, grow what matters. So what really matters to you? Identify it. You do it one step at a time, little by little, and your steps will add up. You know how a journey doesn't just start when you take the first step. It is the continuous taking of the steps that will make you go there. It is, continuous acceleration movement that will make you go there. I also saw another picture that I thought was very striking. So each and every one of us have dreams. Like, it's free to dream. That's why you would say dream as far as you can dream, imagine a lot of things, imagine them possible, believe the impossible, whatever it is, just believe it. So when you have a dream, if you don't do anything about it, it still just remains a dream. It stays at that level of being a dream. But a dream, once you write it down with a date, it becomes a goal. So for example, every student knows that, oh, my dream is to be a graduate. And all things being equal, if you're in the Nigerian system, you know that in the next 4 years, you're supposed to be a graduate, right? And so you really want to read hard, make sure that there are no carryovers or, extra years, hoping that there is no strike or any boycotts by the students so that you can graduate in that 4 years. So it becomes a goal. Another illustration of a dream becoming a goal is you saying, okay, I think I want to become a cybersecurity expert. And I've seen a cybersecurity course that would run for 1 year. If I start today, so it means that this time next year, I will be a cybersecurity expert. It becomes a goal. And then because it is a goal, it is broken down into steps. And when it's broken down into steps, it becomes a plan. So you're telling yourself, I'm enrolling in November. In December, classes resume. In February, we write exams. You're able to say the steps that you are going to take. You're not just saying, and I will just wake up and become a cybersecurity expert. And then even when you know that I need to enroll, you going ahead to take the action to enroll and, attending classes, going for exams ensures that your plan becomes a reality. And I know that we're still going to talk about the importance of goal setting, but I just thought to put it there at the bottom, that goal setting helps you to buy the future. And this is very striking for me because the future looks like it's a distance. The future looks like it is far away, but the truth is, it is not far away because the 5 years that you spoke about one time is today. And you're saying, oh, I will start later. That later is another date. So why not just set that goal and put a date to it and work towards it? Goal setting indeed helps you to buy the future. So the importance of goal setting, there were a lot of importance that came to mind, but I'm just going to speak to not all of them, but some of them. What goal setting does is it helps you to be focused. Goal setting helps you to be focused in the sense that if you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I'm going to work today, and work is Victoria Island, and somebody comes to you and say, no, please, can we go to the cinema? Going to the cinema sounds beautiful. It's a good idea, but you're focused. You have a goal. I have to go to work. I'm not unemployed. So your friend can go to the cinema because they might not have something to do or they are on leave. And what your friend is suggesting to you is great, but it's a distraction. And so you cannot afford to be distracted. So goals help you to maintain focus part-time because, of course, distractions, enticing things will come to want to sway you, take your mind off. But goals will just help to keep you on track. And this is for everything, not just maybe going to work. The same thing when your friends come to you and say, you're still in this country. Why have you not jackpot yet? You're able to tell them, this is why I am doing what I'm doing. Because you have set goals. You're not just living your life based on happenstance or based on the economy or how things are going on. Goals also help you to measure. Goals help you to measure. So if you know that you're going to go to the university, study a 4-year course, you know that, oh, every time we're going to have CA tests, we're going to have exams. If I say I want to graduate with a first class or a second class upper, this is the goal that I must set. This is how I need to read. I need to have a reading calendar. I need to make sure that I don't have less than this grade in my exams or in my CA test, so that I can meet with this goal. So it helps you to measure. When you tell yourself, I want to get 100 in this test, and then you write the test, and then you see that you have 70, you definitely know that something has gone wrong. And then the goal setting is also able to help you improve. So you ask yourself, why did I not get 100? It will also inform the kind of choices that you make. It will also help you to remain consistent. It will sort of put your life on autopilot. You know what you can afford to do and what you can't afford to do at a certain time. Goals also helps you to be accountable. You're able to say, at this time of my life, this is what I'm supposed to do. If I say I want to save every month, it means that once I collect my salary, once I receive my salary, I need to put in a structure of maybe an automated system that takes away 10% of my money, pay 10% of my tithe. It just helps you remain accountable. Goal setting also helps you to know what to leverage, because when you set a goal, you're able to spot opportunities, right? And opportunities can come in the form of relationship, it can come in the form of resources. So once you set a goal, if you tell yourself, okay, I want to meet with the top 10 experts in my industry, that's a goal that you have set. You will notice that you begin to see events, networking events that afford you the opportunity to meet these people. Their names begin to make sense to you. You begin to see them on social media. They just begin to pop up in your face. It's not like they've never been there, but because you never had them in your line of sight, it looked like they were not there. And when you set goals, you're able to grow, you're able to develop. You definitely cannot remain the same way that you are. No, you can't be stagnant with goal setting. You'd always improve. You definitely always have to improve. That's one thing about goal setting. Improvement is key. And another thing to note, and when it comes to goal setting, goals are time bound. There are some goals that must be achieved within a certain time frame. If you don't achieve it within that time frame, you might never, get it again. I know that, we are people of faith, optimism, hope, and we're saying all things are possible. There are things that I can do. But you would agree with me that when you get to a certain age, you know that you can no longer play football. You know you can no longer be a boxer. So there are things that if you know you want to be a footballer, there's an age requirement that you need to have gotten into the academy. So some goals are time bound. So for some of us, there are some goals that we have set and we didn't really put any dates to it. That's just a wish. It's just a dream. It's as it is. So I need us to, maybe as I'm speaking to you, if you have a pen like me or a paper, as you're reflecting, oh, okay, so what are the things that I want to do? Are they time bound? Has the opportunity passed? If the opportunity has not passed, congratulations. You really have to put a date to it so that you know that I am done with this and then I can move to the next thing. Another thing is sometimes if you don't achieve one goal, you're not able to unlock another step. So take that of a student. If a student doesn't pass level 1, you can't be promoted to level 2. So you might look like you're just stuck there, and that's because you're not making progress with the goal. So you need to check this, what I really desire, what is holding me back. Goal setting helps you to reflect and think about that. Another reason why we need to set goals is because resources are finite. We will not get younger every day, every minute, every hour. We are getting old. Like we are getting old every day. And so resources are finite. I mean, what resources are finite? Time, your time on earth is finite. You cannot be on the earth forever. Your energy is also going to diminish as we grow old. I look at my parents, I look at my mom. I remember how she used to be very agile, and then in recent times, I see her want to stand up and then she wants to hold something to stand up. I'm like, oh my God, how time flies. This mommy that's always everywhere is now the one that needs aid to stand, you know. So your resources are finite. So don't think, oh, I'm forever young, I'm sweet 16, I'll be there forever. No. And because goal setting is also the right thing to do. I mean, you cannot, one of the questions they always ask us is when you grow up, what do you want to be? That's like goal setting, but starting from the mind. The only difference is that goals are meant to be written. But this one, they just ask you. So it is the right thing to do. We're supposed to live our lives for something. And because you're also focused, you're able to manage distraction. You're also able to maintain discipline and focus. So if you tell yourself, I want to save 1 million naira next year, and you're single, you're staying with your parents, you earn 200,000 naira, and you say you want to save 1 million naira next year, it means that if you want to save aggressively, you might want to do 100,000 naira every month for 10 months. If you do that, that is 1 million naira, and you're a millionaire. So even though the latest gadget is out, your friends can't convince you to say, come and buy this gadget. It's not a bad idea, but for you, it's not a good idea at the moment because you know that my goal is to be a millionaire in October. So I can't afford to do what you're doing. So it helps you stay disciplined. It helps you to stay on course. It helps you to measure progress, knowing that resources are finite, right? And then it also helps you to prepare when you know that, oh, I really want to achieve this. You're able to prepare better. You're not prepare like anyone. For example, when you go to the library or in a student environment, the way you see a first class student reading is different from the way a third class student is reading. I mean, it's no shade, it's no jab at anybody, but it's just evident because one is reading to say, I need to deliver it in this certain style. Another one is just doing it with nonchalancy and like, I don't really care. It's just because I want to do this. They asked me to come here. Like the person doesn't even really know why they're here. So they don't really put in lots of effort. But when you have goals set, you're able to put effort. And then it also gives you speed. Because when you set a goal, you know that, oh, I need to achieve this thing. What things can I leverage? How can I go about it? How can I achieve it faster? These are the things that goal setting will help you do. I'm sorry you're going to be spending a lot of time on the importance of goal setting, but this is just so that we know because I just kept on getting more reasons why there's a need for us to set goals. And these are more reasons. When you set goals, it sort of helps you know that there is a way, that there is always a way to achieve what you want. So with goal setting, it shows you that the impossible can become possible. When you tell somebody, oh, I want to go to Harvard for my master's, and then somebody will tell you, where did you get the money? Your parents, are they very, very wealthy? Now, that's how the person thinks that the goal of going to Harvard can be achieved. But we know that there are ways of getting scholarships, right? So it makes things that look hard, make things that look big, impossible. They make it possible. So, a goal is one big picture to say, oh, I want to be a medical doctor someday. That is the big goal. But what goal setting will also help you to do is to create a plan where you say, oh, if I need to become a medical doctor, these are the steps that I need to take. These are the actions that I need to make this picture a reality for me. It also makes the invisible visible because, when you dream, it's in your imagination, it's in your mind, it's in your heart. Sometimes you're not able to cast the picture. The best thing you can do is to go online and look for something, a semblance, something that looks like it. Or maybe you look for somebody that is already living the kind of life that you want to live. But when you're not able to set goals, you see that you've achieved it. You being a university student today was maybe at some point a dream. You thought about it that, oh, very soon I'll go to university, and this is the university that I want to go to. This is the course that I want to study. These are goals, and you back them up with action, and they had specific dates. You did not just say, oh, I want to be a student, and then you did not buy jam form. Or maybe when jam form now closes, that's when you now say, well, I want to buy jam form. Of course, they will not start selling again because of you. That's why I'm just reoccurring that goals are time bound. Energy management as well. You know what you're supposed to do. For some of us, we know that, oh, I'm a morning person. Every task that I want to do, I need to do it in the morning. Afternoons are not my time. For some people, they are nocturnal people, they are night people. They work very well at night. They're always awake. They are ready to do everything. So because they know the kind of energy cycle that they have, it helps them to, goal setting helps them to manage their energy better. They know the activities that they can take on at different times of the day, and it will help them to manage their stress. And where there's a need for them to change, they know how change can come in. And if you're a business person here, you know you're not going to be young forever. So there's a need for succession planning. It is when you say you want to have a goal that all of these things will begin to come to mind. And also something called design. You're able to design your life to say, this is how I think I should live my life. This is how I think that I should go. Another thing that goal setting will help you do is goal setting would help you pick your friends. You know, we mentioned that goal setting is strategic, it is intentional, it is consistent, and it is deliberate. So if you know that your goal is to be a medical doctor, of course, you're going to read other books, but then you'll be more focused on the medical aspect because that is your goal. It will help you know the kind of events to attend, the kind of documentaries to watch. As much as you're learning other things, you are focused, you know what you're doing. Goal setting will also help you to predict the future. You know how they say, show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are, and how they say an apple doesn't fall far from the tree. A fruit doesn't fall far from its tree. And they say how you're going to end up in a number of years is based on the association that you keep. And you know that, oh, I want to be this, a diligent professional in the future. It will help you know the associations to belong to, what you should be doing part-time, and you know, knowing how well that you should manage your resources. Another thing it helps you to do is life audits. Now, at this stage, I know that each and every one of us, we have different relationships that we're keeping, but you know, there's a level that you want to step onto, or improve your life to, and you know that, oh, I can no longer keep this friendship. Not because that person is not good, but because it is not what I need at this time. You know what you need per time, and you're able to get them. It doesn't mean that you're going to stop talking to your friends. Definitely not. But you know how to manage the relationship. You know the skills that you need. Another thing is expectation management. Goal setting helps you to manage your expectation. You know, like we said previously, goal setting helps you with measurement tool. When you have, when you set a goal, at the end you check, okay, so where am I? Where did I say I was going to be? Okay, so why is there a variance? You're able to manage your expectations. You're able to know, oh, this is why I did not do it. You're able to give plausible explanations. You're also able to know the kind of contributions that you're going to make in life. And then it helps you also with opportunity management. The truth is, for some of us, several opportunities will come, several opportunities will be thrown at you. When you finish school, you have the opportunity to apply for different kinds of jobs, but you cannot do all the kind of jobs, because if you've told yourself this is the career trajectory I want to go to, you choose the organization that is best suited to give you the picture of the future that you have painted for yourself. So it helps you for with opportunity management. That's why some people take a job and say, I don't even know why I took this job. That's because they didn't have foresight, that they didn't plan the next 5 years. They were just living in the now, in the moment, right? It helps, goal setting helps with delay gratification. It helps you to make more impact. Goal setting helps you with visualization. So you're not just, as you're saying it, you're imagining it and you're painting a picture. With goal setting, it sort of looks like you're a miracle worker. And really, I feel like goal setting is one of the ways that you can make miracles work, because you're living your life based on principles and on objectives. You're not just living haphazard. Nobody can come to you on a new day in the morning and just say, let's go and do this. Let's go and do this. Like how for you, you'd ask yourself, why should I do this? What is the need for me? How does it add up to my eventual goal? Of course, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have fun, or, you know, be social or go out for events, but you are deliberate and living your life well, because you have only one life to live. And if you live that life well, one is enough. They say you only live once, but really, once is enough if you live it well and manage it well. And the way you can manage it well, by predicting the future and buying the future, is with goal setting. So there are different types of goals, like you already know. So I won't really be explaining the short-term goal, short, 1 to 6 months, mid-term goal, let's say 6 short-term, want to say one month, medium, I want to say 3 to 6 months, long-term, maybe 1 year, 5 year, depending on what it is to you. Another thing that I found very important is that there are goals for your roles. Now, as we grow up, there'll be several roles that we're going to take. First, you come as a child, you become a teenager, you become a young, an adolescent, you become a young adult, you become an entry-level staff, mid-level staff, senior level staff, you become a parent, you become a husband, you become a wife, you be a grandparent, a mentor, a pastor. You know, your life will just take several paths. And the truth is, you cannot afford to fail on all of these paths. You can't afford to fail. So for every role that you're going to take part time, there will be goals for you. The goal that you would have, which is more like what they call KPI in the workplace, there would always be goals. So what goals are you setting? The goals you're going to set for yourself as a single person will be different from the goals you're going to set for yourself when you become a married person, when you eventually become a married person with one kid or two kids. You know, for every role that you're going to undertake, you need to set goals for those roles. And then something else that I think is very significant to mention is legacy goals. And what do I mean by legacy goals? Legacy goals for me means, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be known for? If you're going to sum up the total of your life, what is going to be said about you? And like we mentioned in our classes earlier, that the essence of life is not in its duration. The essence of life is in its donation. So what are you adding to life? What are you going to give to life? So now there are certain key questions that I would like us to ask. Key questions I would like us to ask. And this is, you know, just taking a broad picture of saying, okay, let's just take a look and say 20 years from now, what kind of person do I want people to say that I am? Now, if you didn't attend our personal branding class, you can catch up with the replay. It's on YouTube, so you can check it. What kind of person do I want people to say that I am? And you know, like you mentioned, there are goals for every role. So are you a good person to the public? And then in your family, people are like, oh no, this guy is not just an okay person. He's far from normal. It has to do with your character. The next thing you want to ask yourself is 20 years from now, what do I want to have achieved? Okay, so if I say I want to be a doctor, maybe not a medical doctor, an academic doctor 20 years from now, it means that I should be planning to go on my PhD. Okay, so do I want to go on scholarship? What kind of scholarship? What kind of school? What are the things I want to major in? You know, thinking these pictures, it looks like it's far, but just subtract 20 years from your age. It looked like it was far, but it's not far. Remember when we entered the year 2000, Y2K, new millennium, everybody was like, oh my God, you know, these and now fast forward, this is 2023 ending, like 1 month to go to 2024. So don't think that, oh, the times are far. I still have time, please. We don't have that much time. The next thing is, what do you want to be doing? What do you want to be doing? I know that at this age, say if you add 20 years to your age, some of us will be 60 already, preparing to retire or resign or start our own business. Some people might have been retrenched by their organization, but the truth is, you just have to keep going. Whether it's a vocation, whether it's private practice, whatever it is, ask yourself, what will I be doing 20 years from now? And finally, you want to ask yourself, what should I own? Now, what should I own has to do with the assets that you have, your net worth. In 20 years' time, what assets would you have? What would you own? What would your net worth be? Now, this is for you to ponder on, not anybody, putting pressure on you, but just for us to put our lives in perspective. Now, 20 years might look like a stretch. You can also break it down to say, okay, 5 years from now, where do I want to be? 1 year from now, what do I want to do? Now, so there are certain goal-setting fundamentals that we must have. And I really encourage each and every one of us to take this very seriously. Now, we can see this image of a man standing, and then he's looking at a distant future, and he's saying, I want to go there. I want to be there. That is where I want to be. But to get there, there are certain things that he has to do. So for us, I want us to cast our minds to the future. What do we want to achieve, or where do we want to be? What do you want to own in that distant future? Your distant future might be 1 year from now, can be 5 years from now, whatever number that you choose to be. There's a distant future. So this guy, for him to get to where he's going, what he needs to say is, where am I? What is my current location? Where am I? A very important question that each and every one of us needs to ask. Where am I in this stage, at this stage of my life, at this time? Where exactly am I? You really want to reflect, a state of reflection. Where am I going? Now you're talking about your destination, that distant future, that place where we can see the image. Where am I going? That's the destination. Now, once you've answered these two, it's already cast in stone that you can now begin to make projections to say, how will I get to that distant place? Okay, if I want to get there, do I trek to the place? It has to do with the vehicle that would be available to you, or the vehicle that you're going to leverage. Should I trek to the place? Should I take a train? Should I run to the place? Should I fly to the place? Depending on the distance, you choose the transportation that is most suitable to you. And it helps you with preparation, all of those things, points that we've mentioned in the importance of goal setting. And I want to go back, sit down to reflect on all of this. And then next is, what resources do I need? What are the tools that I need? Okay, I need money. Okay, is it money that I need, or I actually need a relationship? If I'm going there, do I need somebody that has a car that I can carpool with? Do I need to tag along with somebody? Do I need to wait for discounts? What resources do I need to get there? And then the final question is, when I get there, how will I sustain and maintain this success? Because the truth is, when you even get there, the place that looks like a future, you begin to see further. You see another future that you need to get to. So you want to ask yourself, okay, when I talk about my location, when I talk about my destination, the vehicles and the tools that I use, can I make this a system and structure to replicate this so that when I get to that future, I'm able to go further into the future? So these are goal setting fundamentals that you do not want to ignore. Goal setting fundamentals are very important, and we need to pay attention to them. Now, the next is the tips on goal setting. Tips on goal setting. The truth is, we would have several goals that we want to achieve as individuals. Our wants, our needs are insatiable. So there are a lot of things that we want. So you list out all of these goals, and all of these goals are very important. But the truth is, some goals would help unlock other goals. So you write out the list. Like we said, resources are finite. Money, time, energy, they are limited, and there's so much that you can even do in a day. That's why sometimes you come back from work, we're very exhausted, and there's something you want to do, and you're like, I can't do this, I'm extremely tired, I'll move it. So goal selection, what goals are most critical to me at this point in my life? And that's why when we spoke about the type of goals, I mentioned that there's a goal for every role. There's a goal for every role. As much as short term, mid term, and all of that, there's a goal for every role. So this role that I am at as a single person, yet to be unmarried, what are the most important goals that I need to achieve? It's not like you cannot achieve them afterwards, but it might be a stretch. Adding the goals as a married person with the goals that you could have achieved when you were a single person if you had managed, your goal setting very well. So goal selection, create like a sort of checklist. Okay, what is most important that I do now? What goals will be much more easier when I'm married? Okay, can we wait? Or how can I leverage relationships to get this happen? Then once you have done your goal selection, you're able to plan, and then you're able to have a benchmark to say, what does success mean when I achieve this goal? You're able to set it. For students, we say it's not just enough for you to be a student. Being a student is one goal, but being an A student or a first class student is another goal. So that benchmark, it has already been set that if you're going to be a first class student in a Nigerian university, you need to have a CGPA of 5.0. So there's already a benchmark set. And then you check yourself every semester when the result comes out, you check yourself against that benchmark to say, how well am I doing? Am I far away? How can I improve? And then you improve, you are able to see change management things that you can, put. And then I can assure you that if you take all of these tips handy, it's going to make a great difference. So what are the aspects for us to plan? We've spoken a lot about goal setting, the importance, and things to take note of, tips and types of goals. So what are the aspects to plan? For us as humans, we have several aspects to us. Our spirituality is very, very important. Each and every one of us believes in something. Each and every one of us prays to something or prays to someone or believes in a greater force. So you want to set your goals You want to set your goals. You want to set academic goals if you're a student. And if you're not a student, you want to set personal development goals. You also want to have your relationship goals with your friends, your family. You want to have financial goals, money. How can I make more money? How can I manage my money? How can I retain my wealth? My health. I want to be healthy. Now, so all of these aspects that we're speaking about, if you missed our class on personal evaluation, our first class ever on evaluation, all of these aspects would has been spoken to and properly taken care of. So you might want to check that class. Now, using a football analogy. Now, a football match is a goal for the footballers and the team. Now, because they need to play a football match, so I'm using this analogy for us to know how we can apply goal setting to our lives. If you're going to play a football match, you know that the venue for a football match has to be a football field. So the same thing, that goal that you're setting for yourself, for your life, where is it going to manifest well? So it means that you need to be careful of the environment that you have found yourself. We also said that goals are time bound, and we know that the duration for every football match is 90 minutes. So you want to ask yourself, what is the time frame for this goal that I have? Like we said, if you are beginning to be 40 years old, you can't say you want to be a footballer. I don't know what league is going to sign you up on. So if you say you want to be a footballer and you're 40, you just rather be a coach so that you still find yourself in the sporting arena, but definitely not as a player. The next thing we also spoke about is that goal setting helps with your relationship management, which has to do with your association. And that's the same thing with football. Every football match has information. Different people are positioned in the football field. You know who is the defender, who is the midfielder, who is taking this pass, who is dribbling, who is going to be the striker, who is going to be the goal scorer, who will give the assist. The same thing. When we are going to achieve any goal, we need to know the kind of support system that we'll have around us. Okay, do I need my parents now? Do I need a mentor? Do I need a sponsor? At what point do I need a partner? If you're doing a business, at what point do I need to go to the public market? All of this formation, it is goal setting that will help you realize it. And then the resources. If you know you're going to be a footballer, you know that, you're going to have jersey, you're going to have socks, you're going to have boots, all of that. The same thing, your goal. What resources does your goal need to thrive? If you're a student, you need book, biro, stationery, textbook, audio courses, internet to make your life easy. Same thing, the location. Where do I need to be part-time? Of course, for footballers, sometimes if you are going to train, you can't always train on the field. You also need the gym. And you begin to alternate them. So you ask yourself, where do I need to be? If I say I want to be a pilot, am I supposed to be on the train track? No, that's the wrong environment. It has to do with transportation, but not the kind of transportation that you are interested in. And then for every football match, there's something called a scoreboard. When somebody scores a goal, we see it there. Oh, mention the name of your club so that it doesn't look like I'm shading anybody. 1-0, 2-0. That's the same thing. In life, if we don't set goals, we're not getting any goals. So you want to check the scoreboard of your life. You're the one setting it now. It is you. You're not competing with anybody. The goal is to be better than you were yesterday. So you want to say, ideally, let me tell myself the truth, Stella, your financial scoreboard, you are doing 50%, but you can do it better if you eliminate this, or if you find yourself in this environment, if you cook more than you eat out, if you find a way to carpool than take Uber, you just find a way. Opportunity management, resource management, stress management, expectation management, all of those things that we mentioned in the importance. So I just thought that this football analogy would, drive home these points and help us know why we need to set goals. And beyond setting goals, the things that would aid and enable us to achieve our goals efficiently and effectively. Now, so I said I was going to give us a case study. I'm using two analogies. First would be a professional case study. So a professional is saying, I want to increase sales. I want to increase sales in my environment. And the analogy I want to use here is the SMART principle. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Because there's no way we talk about goal setting and not mention the SMART acronym. So if you're going to set a professional goal, such as saying, I want to increase sales, the specific thing you want to say, let's say this marketing person is saying, how I want to increase is use social media marketing. So I want to learn how to use social media marketing. I want to learn what platforms to use for my business. The person is being specific because there are several ways to increase sales, right? And it's through marketing. So what kind of marketing? The person is specific here to say social media marketing. And then how do we measure if sales are increasing indeed? Okay, I want sales to increase by 30%. Okay, you want to do the math. What is 30%? If you say 30% of 1 million naira, it means you want to increase sales by 333,333 naira. So now we made it measurable. Okay, so how do I achieve this? The person has said, okay, I think I'm going to get Zoho platform for my business because I know that if sales increase, I need to be able to manage all of these customers. So the person is just trying to, break it down. The big goal is I want to increase sales. But then you have to, what goal setting helps you to do is to walk back. Walk back from the future to the reality to say, these are the steps I need to take to get to my expected end. And then next is this even relevant? Is this even relevant? Why exactly do I even want to increase sales? And this person is saying, I want to grow my sales volume so that I'm able to maybe buy a car to increase my business, to help business grow, whatever reason. But just know that your goals must be relevant. And next is time bound. I like this professional. The professional is saying that I will subscribe to Zoho Social tomorrow. He's not waiting. Like you said, in fact, if you can do it now, do it now. Maybe the reason why the person is saying I'll subscribe tomorrow is because the person needs their ATM card to make payments and they didn't bring it to work. And the person is also saying, I will build a social media strategy. In that social media strategy, I'm going to do a content strategy. Now, this is someone who has broken it down. And then it makes more sense. Imagine two people come to meet you and say, I'm going to increase the sales in your business. And you're like, how? And the person is thinking about it. And another person comes and say, I'm going to increase sales in your business. And the person says, how? And the person says, I'm going to use this strategy. Who would you take more seriously? Of course, you're going to take this professional who has broken all of these things into granular points more seriously because it sounds more plausible. And then you see how you can support the person, say, oh, don't worry about Zoho Social. I think this is a better platform. You're able to get more support and to say, oh, there's somebody that has done it, or have you read this book? Have you listened to this course? And then it's going to work. For another person now, let's bring it personal. The person says, I'm going to get into shape. Maybe the person has added some weight and the person wants to shed them off. And the person says, okay, specific. I'm going to get at least 30 minutes of exercise and I'm going to reduce my calorie intake. So the person wants to start rationing their food. The person is going to be doing portion control. These are specific things. Like it just makes sense to you. Beyond just saying, oh, I'm going to get into shape. So we have some friends that when they tell us I want to get into shape, you just laugh at them and say, I hear you, because you know that they're just paying lip service to that goal. So this person is saying, I'm going to get at least 30 minutes of exercise and reduce my calorie intake. How do I measure this? My goal is to lose 15 pounds within the next 3 months. So measurable, at least 5 pounds every month. There's a goal to lose 15 pounds. And then achievable, how do I do this? The person says, okay, I already have a treadmill and I can afford to buy fresh and nutritious food for myself and my family. Okay, I already have a treadmill, and instead of maybe eating junks and all of that, I can afford to start, eating healthy. How the things that will help the person achieve the goals. These are the resources. And then why is this relevant? Because I want to live a healthier lifestyle. I want to live long, right? So that I can even feel better about myself. There are some people that, because of their size, they are not confident. So it affects how they appear physically. The person wants to improve their physical and their mental life. They want to make it better. And then lastly, it's time bound. So how would that be possible? The person is saying, I'll go to the grocery store tomorrow and buy healthy food for the week. So because the person knows that the time bound there is in the measurability. The person says, I want to lose 15 pounds within the next 3 months, which means that every month I need to lose on the minimum 5 pounds. Okay, and my 3 months is starting tomorrow. What do I need to do? Because I'm going to eat, I need to go to the grocery store tomorrow and buy what I will need for the week. And I will use my treadmill for 30 minutes before cooking dinner. And I will use the rower 3 times. So the person is already telling you how they want to achieve that goal. So this person is more serious than somebody who just says, I want to lose weight or I want to become trimmer. That person is just giving you the big picture. Okay, make it granular. That is what goal setting is supposed to do for you. And one thing I also think is very important is, I know that I mentioned that one thing that goal setting definitely helps you to do is that it helps you not to run around. It helps in resource management. It helps you to manage your stress, your energy, your activity, your time, because there are lots of goals that we want to achieve, but really we're not Superman. Even Superman gets tired. Justice League, they get tired. Superheroes also get tired. So you need to be able to know what you need to do per time. And that's why I introduced this. There's no way you can talk about goal setting and not talk about time management. Like we said, goals are time bound. So this metric is the Eisenhower decision metric that I have used, and I even started using it for something different. I started using it also for my daily to-do list. So when I get to work, this is my work jotter. What I do is, instead of just writing a to-do list where I have a list of several things that I want to do, I just draw this box. I draw this quadrant, the same quadrant we can see on the screen. I draw this quadrant and I ask myself, I put it there, urgent, not urgent, important or not important. I put all of those things there so that I know the most important things to do, and I know I spend my day well. If I do all the important and urgent things, of course, I'll be at peace with myself. I think, okay, I can get a subordinate to do this or do that. It just helps you with, managing your energy. Like I said, for some of us, we are morning people. Some people are night people. They're like, oh, I'll do this task better in the morning. So immediately you get to work, you're looking at the most important thing on your list and the most urgent things on your list. That even makes you an A person, instead of doing not urgent things and not important things. And then when it's now time for the most important things, you're tired. It's just mispriority. So time management using the Eisenhower decision metric helps you to manage your energy well. It helps you to manage your time where you're able to know, okay, I need to allocate this number of period to this task. It also helps you to manage your stress because oh, these are the activities that I can take on at this time with this energy level. There are some times where I'm very, very hyper. There are some tasks that I don't do because I know that I'm going to make mistakes because the energy is just bustling there. So I'll channel it to something that is boring. I'll channel it something that is boring at that time and use the excitement energy to do what is boring. And then when I'm now at a very calm stage, I can begin to look at numbers. I can begin to edit. I can begin to write a report because I'm calm and I will think more clearly. Now, this is me understanding myself and what works for me. It might not be the same thing for you. So it might be something you want to try from tomorrow when you get to work to say, okay, how can this metric help me live my life better? Because goal setting ultimately is for you to live a very intentional, strategic, deliberate, purposeful life ultimately. It also helps your expectations, okay? If I do the most urgent and important things, one of the things I try to ask myself at work is, so if they call you today now, management calls you and say, okay, Stella, what did you do for this organization today? If I mention the things that don't add value, they'll be like, so why do we even have you here? Because all the things you just mentioned, the secondary school person can do. So what goal setting would help you do, this metrics, time management metrics will help you do, is to make sure that you do the most important tasks that add value to the organization and to yourself and your KPI. You're able to do it per time. Prioritization, which is very key. So we've come to the end of the class. We're already there already. I just want to reiterate that goals means you're growing what matters, one step at a time, little by little, and your steps will add up. Like some goals cannot be achieved all at once. And for some goals, you need to do it like over and over again. It takes consistency, and goals are dreams that are brought to life. And I just want to remind us that goal setting is an ongoing journey. Another thing that goal setting will help you do is when you set a goal and you do not achieve it, you're able to know why you did not achieve it, and then you're able to improve. You're able to iterate. You're able to tweak some things. So goal setting is an ongoing journey. It's not a one-time event. You regularly have to review, make some changes and ensure that one thing you should also do is give yourself the permission to evolve, because the way technology and the world is changing, there's some things that you used to like that you no longer like, or that are not even relevant anymore. So you cannot say, I want to stick with my old ways. No, imagine a typist saying, I just want to stay with the typewriter. In this age and time of the computing system, that person will no longer be relevant. So as the world is changing, as things are happening everywhere, ensure that your goals are also being aligned with these changes, and that your aspirations are evolving, just so that you are not left out on any innovation or creativity that will happen at this time. So I really hope that this class has been very insightful. I hope that we've learned one or two things that we'll be able to put into the future, something that we can practice. So I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have questions, please, I'll be happy to take our questions, and then I think we try to keep the time, and then we can call it a day. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. So please, if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer questions. And if there's any clarification, maybe it's something that I've said, please do well to ask. We'll take all